FMP presentation. So the brief we were given was to choose any FMP genre we wanted. We had to use the skills we gained over the last 2 years to create something which would aim towards our specialism in the future. So the ideas I came up with. The first idea I came up with was a phone and technology review video. In this video, I'd go through new technologies, new phones, and see how the consumer might see them and see if they are good enough for people to use. The second idea I came up with was a print campaign for community projects, so feeding the homeless, the Salvation Army. So I'd go around, take photos of them serving people maybe, and put them together to show the local community what they can get into. The next idea I came up with was a clothing show. I wanted to make a parody of a clothing show. So if you look at GOP 1, he does how to look good naked. I wanted to do how to look like a roadman. So what you'd have is you'd have a very roadman looking guy trying to steal clothes from high-end stores, trying to make someone look good. The next idea was how technology affects us. So I wanted to do something like that because technology is a very current idea. It's developing quite a lot over the last 20, 30 years. So it'd be a good genre to do it towards. Next was wedding photography, which isn't everyone's cup of tea, but I wanted to do wedding photography because it's something that would be interesting. I wanted to show how different ethnicities and religions celebrate or have different techniques of weddings. Next was a community football documentary, which I would go to a football club I currently work alongside, and I'd show how they're helping the youth in the community develop their skills and personalities. And finally, graffiti photography, because Birmingham's a very diverse place, and I wanted to show how graffiti in different areas shows the diversity through those places. So my top ideas. First one was phones and technology. Next was the community project, how tech affects us, community football club, and as you see, the one I chosen was how technology affects us, because I believe this was the best idea to choose. It was something very current, and it was something that I think I'd be able to do well. So on to my research. The first piece of research I did was TED Talks, and it was about your smartphone is a civil rights issue. So this goes on about the case between Apple and the FBI, where a San Antonio terrorist's work iPhone was placed at the crime scene, and Apple were told to unlock it for the FBI to see if there was anything on it they could use. And it goes on about how the difference between the iOS system's encryption and the Google Android encryption. So when I was watching it, the man actually presenting came up with a very good analogy. So he showed that the difference between an iPhone and an Android phone was, in an iPhone, it's fully encrypted. Your text messages, your pictures, anything on it is all encrypted. So when a police officer sees your phone and picks it up, it's near impossible for him to find anything on. Whereas compared to an Android mobile phone, it's not encrypted at all. There's very little encryption, so someone can just pick the phone up, maybe if they want, put a password in, it may work, and they have full access to your things. So what I learned surveillance is much more easier than on an Android phone than it is on an iPhone. And it would have been a good subject to put into my documentary, because a lot of people don't know that the difference between the encryptions of an iPhone and an Android phone. The Digital Invasion is a book about how technology shapes you and your relationship. So it talks about a lady from South Africa and her research towards how technology from the last 25 years has affected the way we talk to people, the way we communicate. So what I learned from this was technology has a very large influence on our relationships, because if you look at social media or something like Tinder, a lot of data are going through social networking sites and dating applications like that. The next one was technology offers a wealth of information. So people can go onto the internet now and go onto Google and find pretty much anything in the world they want, which is a very good thing. But it also disconnects us from the actual world, because most people now just sit in their own bubble of technology where they just go on social media, social network, and they just want to show the good parts of their life. They don't really experience them. Next was Technology and Terror. Now this was a BBC radio documentary about the unit bomber Theodore Kaczynski. He killed 3 people and injured 23 with 16 bombs, because he thought that society was brainwashed through the media. So what I learned from this, that people can develop a different perception of the media. So if you look at someone like us, we'd think that it's nothing really special, it's just something we do. But someone like Theodore, it was something that was brainwashing society, it was making us conform to something we didn't want. Next was that technology can be used as propaganda. That if you look at this, it was something he wanted. He wanted to make sure that the networks were closed down and people had their own thoughts, instead of just being taught what to do. And again, it had been a good part of my documentary. So I learned from my research. I learned again that technology can be a source of propaganda. Technology affects our relationships a lot. And technology has advanced over the last 50 years exponentially, because if you look at it, 50 years ago, the internet was coming into fruition, TVs were coming, cars were very, very small and not very productive. Looking at today, it's full of like electrical cars. The cultures and conventions of documentaries I'd seen were, a lot of them have voiceovers, so where they narrate the first bit of it to tell you what the actual documentary is about. Subject relevant B-roll, so if you look at a documentary, whilst the voiceover is coming on, they won't necessarily show a part of the documentary, they'll just show a B-roll of maybe someone on their mobile phone or a car zooming past the camera. Interviews with the public, interviews with experts, and experiments. So my questionnaire and results. So as a handout, I have given you all my questionnaires. So to read through it, so the first one was, so my target age would be 10 to 15 years old. The most used social networking was Facebook and Snapchat. Their weekly usage was 10 plus hours. The most viewed TV channel was actually Netflix. Weekly usage of that Netflix account was 10 hours and plus. And the most used technology from them was their mobile phone, again with more than 10 hours daily usage. So my target audience would be both males and females, aged between 10 and 20 years old, who enjoy using technology and their social networking websites and social media, and have an interest in how technology affects us. So my audience profile. So I'd like you guys to meet Tim. Now Tim is 21 years old. He likes films, gaming and music. His most used technology pieces are his laptop and his mobile phone. He uses Facebook and Snapchat the most, and he's very interested in how technology affects us. So my constraints. My first constraint would be time, as we only have 12 weeks to produce this project, and looking through the technology, it'd be something that is very difficult to do in such a short amount of time. I have a very small amount of budget. It's a difficult subject because there isn't a lot of technological pieces out there that will help me find an influence which I can use to further the knowledge of people, and legal constraints. So, so I'd have to have data protection, right to film, if I do interviews, and the outcome. So I want to inform people about the effects of technology, give the audience a better understanding of technology and the way we use them, and help the audience understand the difference between positive and negative effects of the of technology. Thank you for listening. Is there any questions? Yes.
I don't have a question. I just like to give a suggestion. Where it says the encryption bit, you could also add WikiLeaks on the CIA, which is like been recently about how not only is it firm, it's all technology which the CIA can spy on, like Samsung smart TVs. Even the
Yeah, that's a good idea.
What's your personal opinion on media as a whole? Because you cover how it says like, oh, you know, it's good, it's bad, but although you're not obviously not going to put into the document yourself, what's your personal opinion?
My opinion is it's something very positive, because the media shows has taught us quite a lot around, about things we didn't know. So like maybe so there's tribes maybe out there which we didn't know, and TV cameras have been able to go there and interview. We've got to learn about their culture, animals. Technology has advanced to the point where we are able to just use the internet to get what we want. We can do online shopping, things like that. So it's something very, very positive, I believe. Yes.
Out of all the ideas you had, what was it manually that made you believe this was the best idea for you to go with?
I think this was the best idea, because technology is something personally we all use. So it'd be something to, as no one really knows the effects of it, it'd be something really good to know as a whole. And it'd be something that would have, I believe, a big market towards it. So I think that would be the reason why I chose it. Yes.
You mentioned about people just slog their daily lives out on social media and their phones.
Yeah.
Do you also fall into that?
Not necessarily. I use social media moderately. I don't use it a lot. I personally watch YouTube and things like that. So I am influenced by certain things, but I don't think social media and networking is really my main influence. Yes.
So now you've got your idea, like how are you going to go forward with your research? What else do you plan to actually sort of do? Are you going to have all these sort of documentaries on the subject? Or?
Yeah, I personally want to look towards more documentaries, find out. And look at a few from the BBC, which aren't necessarily technology related, but they're documentaries, and I just want to see what extra codes and conventions can be added.
Are you planning on having a voiceover, or are you going to be the main star within the room?
No, I'm planning to get someone to do a voiceover. Any other questions?
Excellent,